Well, what they were able to do is kind of provide, um, if we did a levee breach, they looked at like 5 locations, and they said, okay, if we had a breach at one of those locations, how fast water would move through different parts of the town. Specifically, they would look at like how long would it take for there to be a foot of water at this specific location, or how long would it take for 2 feet to be there, or what would be the maximum depth of water. So you can really use that to kind of inform your planning, as far as maybe evacuation routes, or maybe there's a facility that we're going to rebuild that maybe we know how deep the water is going to get. We can kind of take that into account when we do some sort of infrastructure. Yeah, so they looked at the water in the Mississippi River being above, like over the 500-year event, so something that's got less than a 0.2% chance of occurring, and then. And the reason is they're looking kind of at worst case scenarios, just to provide the biggest range of effects. So, and they looked at like 5 locations, and they make a lot of assumptions like how wide is the breach, where is the breach, what's the river stage, in the breach. Those are all variables that would obviously change the result of how fast water would get to a certain point. So the Army Corps of Engineers is an annual inspection and a periodic inspection. So the annual inspection, they basically will give it varying degrees. They deemed ours acceptable, which is the highest. I guess that's an A, but doesn't sound very good, just acceptable. But that's the highest rating that it's going to provide. It's going to perform as needed. That was the last one they gave in January of 2016.
The takeaway was, it was something we hadn't had that information prior. And it's kind of sobering when you look at, what that flood wall does for this city and what kind of damage would occur if there was a major breach of it. So I think it's really good to be studying that, to come up with some possible solutions. So not only to protect the public safety, but to protect property, if a breach should occur.